there has to be some exceptions.
Father, surely you can't be serious. There must be situations in which you can make an exception.
There are things that apply always, no matter what the circumstances, and this is one of them.
Alright, so let's see. It seems that my charisma isn't as good as his, but we could force him to say, I'll get that confession out of you by force.
I've got no time for this. You might be happy to put people's lives at risk, but I refuse to, and I'll get that confession out of you by force if I have to.
Oh well. I suppose you're right. By the looks of you, that isn't an empty threat. I'm no stranger to conflict. But I admit, I wouldn't like to go up against you. Still, at least promise me it will remain between the two of us.
Trust me.
Lubos came to me shortly after everything that happened. His conscience was gnawing at him. I must say I never expected it of him, but he turned out to be a better man than he seemed. He said some crony of theirs hired them. First they thought they were going to steal horses. Then it all got out of hand and people started dying. He and his gang didn't want any part of that. So they quarreled with the others and ran off.
Quarreled? A corpse was found in the woods by Neuhoff.
Well, that would explain something. Lubos kept blabbering on that he wasn't a murderer, that he didn't want to do it.
So I know Lubos killed one of the murderers, and now he's dead too. Only I need to find the ones who are still alive. I need names and places. Did he mention any of the others?
Just nicknames, but maybe that'll help. He mentioned some fellows called Riki from Ledechko, Pius and Timmy.
Nothing more?
No.
I suppose it'll have to do. I reckon I'll go and have a look around Ledechko first. Thank you, Father. And don't worry. I won't tell anyone.
Right. And about John Huss. And seems that we've got ourselves more tasks. So track down Riki. Let's go through our quest here. One of the members of the Neuhoff gang, a fellow who goes by the moniker of Riki, should be somewhere in the vicinity of Ledechko. Unfortunately, that's about all I could find out so far, except it shouldn't be too hard to, well, catch scent of this Riki, though I don't expect it will be a pleasant encounter. Track down another member of Neuhoff gang, a fellow who goes by the nickname of Riki. Okay, looks like so far so good. And we are gonna go to Ledechko. Can fast travel from this location, so let's move a little bit forward. Okay, should be just fine now. Let's go there. Crossing Talmberg. A wayfarer. Okay, let's take a look. What will he have to say? A bowman.
What'll it be?
Oh! Poaching is a crime. Have you anything to sell?
Show me what you have for sale.
Interesting. As you can see, he is hunting. Let's get some of those cracklings. That's quite expensive. Okay.
What'll it be?
Let's have a chat. Poaching is a crime.
Isn't poaching, well, forbidden?
But I'm no poacher. And what are you then?
I'm a travelling butcher.
Huh. I'll keep quiet for a price. Butcher, I don't believe you. Vouching is a crime. I'll report you. Keep quiet for a price.
A travelling butcher? That's a new one. I'll tell you what, hand over a few groschen and I won't turn you in.
Come now, no need to do anything hasty, is there? Here you are, and I trust you'll leave me in peace.
Thanks. I'll be going on my way then.
Yes, you best be off.
Alright. Now, how about those cracklings? Let's consume all of them. And now we can just move forward. How nice. It looks like we didn't pay the full price for those 3 bags of cracklings. How nice. No. It looks like it's not clear where exactly we need to go. However, I will be going to that indication there. And we'll see who can we speak with. So, isn't it here? It looks like that's the Usher range instructor. Okay, let's talk.
What do you want?
Riki.
I'm looking for a fellow called Riki. Do you know him?
You mean Hinnick? He's the tanner's son, isn't he?
Any idea where I could find him?
I don't know. Try at his folks' house, but he doesn't spend much time there.
Okay, do you know him? Can you tell me anything about him?
So you know this Hinnick. Can you tell me something about him?
Not much, I confess. Most of the village folk avoid him like the plague.
Why's that?
No one with a nose likes spending too much time around tanners. And that Riki keeps bad company. I've never heard a good word said about him.
What's his father like?
What can you tell me about the old courier?
He's as cantankerous as a hog in a thorn bush. He won't talk to anyone.
Why did they call him... Why did they call Hynek Riki?
Why do they call Hinnick Riki anyway?
He's a tanner, isn't he? If you're ever downwind of him, you'll understand. Tanning isn't a trade for the weak of stomach.
True enough, but not every courier gets cursed with a name like that.
Well, Hinnick's nature's no sweeter than his smell.
How come he has such a bad reputation?
Why has he got such a bad name?
Well, like his old man, he doesn't talk much to anyone. And then he's always skulking off somewhere. I heard he got a taste of the pillory in Ratai for thieving. And in Neuhof, he got boozed up in the alehouse with his cronies, and they beat up some merchants.
So a bit more than high spirits.
Just so. We're all honest folk here, and we've no use for the likes of him.
There must be someone who talks to Riki.
Don't tell me there's not a single person who talks to him.
He's been seen around with one of the bathhouse wenches. Adela, I believe she's called.
Alright, let's go back and... are you an archer?
What's with the targets? Are you an archer by any chance?
I notice you're asking questions. Are you the Inquisition by any chance?
No, I'm Henry, of Scalitz.
From Scalitz? I'm Vata, from here. Why are you so curious about the targets?
I'm interested in archer.
It's just that I sometimes try my hand at archery too.
Try your hand, do you? I know plenty who do. When you can score as high as me at chumps, then I might be impressed.
I've got no idea what you're talking about.
Never played chumps? And you call yourself an archer? All right, Henry, listen up. Chumps is a game for real archers. It tests your strength, stamina, and accuracy. And it can be a nice little earner. Unless you're, well, a chump.
So what exactly is it?
I'll tell you. A bunch of logs are floated down the river. Then you count to 20, and the archers run along the banks after the logs. At the end of the course, someone collects all the logs and counts the strikes. Whoever has the most, always meaning me, wins the bout. Each archer has 20 arrows with their own coloured fletching, and the contest ends when the last log floats through the finish line.
Sounds like good fun.
Fun? My friend, it will bring you out in a proper sweat, and you'll be well pleased to hit just 1 or 2 blocks. So how about it then? Fancy a bout? You'll need your own bow, but I'll supply the arrows with coloured fletching.
Some other time.
Sounds interesting. Maybe some other time.
Well, if you ever want to gamble away pots of money, just ask.
Alright. It looks like we have successfully ended up with a few leads here. No. Talk to the bad house wench that Ricky is seeing. Let's go there and see if his girlfriend is going to rat him out. Well, as far as I'm aware, she's just a hooker, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal for her to rat him out.
Hey.
Okay. Adela. Ricky.
I heard you've been seeing Hinek, the tanner's son.
So what? Come to preach at me, have you? That I'm a loose woman, a sinner, that I seduce decent men?
No. Nothing like that.
God, no, nothing like that. It's just that you're the only one in the village who sees Hinek, so I came to ask you about him.
Aye, I've seen him often enough, but I don't know what I could tell you about him.
Where's Hynek?
Where can I find Hinek?
I haven't seen him in the village for a few days. He must have run off to the woods again.
Does he do that often?
From time to time.
What the hell does he get up to there?
I don't know.
I'm a friend of Hynek's.
Look, Hinek's my friend, and I really need to know where he is and what he's doing.
But I already told you I don't know where he's got to.
So I suppose he just goes to the woods to pick mushrooms, does he?
Mushrooms, no. More like hares or other game.
So Hinek is a poacher? That's no surprise.
Well, he was never much of one for an honest trade.
Do you know exactly where he goes? Maybe he has some favourite spot he might have told you about?
He said he has some hideout in the woods, but he didn't tell me where.
Alright, Hynek. When did you see him last? Hynek's hideout.
I need to know more about that hideout.
I really don't know where it is. I only know when he came back, he usually came to see me.
I see.
How did you know he had been in the woods? Who did he sell the meat to? Which direction did he go to his hideout?
Do you know what route he took? At least the general direction. Anything that could help me find his hideout.
I think he usually went through the woodcutter's camp, 'cause he always brought me freshly chopped firewood, and he had wood chips on his boots.
Good. So at least I know where to start.
Alright. Who did he sell the meat to?
Do you know who he sold it to?
He never told me straight up. But who could he sell it to? The innkeeper, I reckon. It makes sense.
For sure.
Alright. Ricky was selling poached game to the innkeeper. I should go and check that out. How did you know he had been in the woods?
How did you know he'd been to the woods?
He always talked about what he caught, and he never came to me at other times. Probably didn't have the money for it.
When did you see him last?
When did you last see him?
A few days ago. He came to me late in the evening, drunk.
And that was unusual?
I never saw him drink much. He always came to me sober.
So he was acting strangely that evening?
He was strange, I had the feeling he was afraid of something. He keeps prattling on and didn't seem to care about you know what. So I threw him out and I haven't seen him since.
What did he say that evening?
Can you remember anything he said that evening?
Oh, I'm not sure. He went on about some fellow called Lubosh who died, that he was regretting he ever got into it, but he never said what it was, and that it wasn't worth it for the money. Aye, and then he was talking about the money. That was very odd.
About the money?
What did he say about the money?
Just that he had a pile of it hidden behind his house.
I see. What did you say to that?
What could I say? He was drunk. He kept saying I was a fine girl, and other harlots wouldn't go with him even for money. And if I wanted, I could even take half the money and leave. Or he'd go with me, and we could get married and such. All just poppycock.
Did you look for the money? Where exactly is it hidden?
Did he tell you exactly where he hid it?
He said he buried it at his father's small holding in the western corner.
All right, thank you.
Did you look for the money?
Did you go there for a look?
No, I've got better things to do. Obviously he made it up. Where would a layabout like him get so much coin?
Yes, I understand.
About the money.
Another thing about the money.
What is it?
Nothing really. No one else would sleep with him.
Is it true?
What?
Other whores wouldn't go with him even for money.
The other bathhouse girls are honest, so I don't know. The truth is, I felt a bit sorry for him. Folk don't like him, but it's only 'cause his old man is a grouch and a tanner.
I heard something different.
I heard they don't like him because he keeps company with villains.
True enough. But they didn't like him before that either. Or me. They're close-minded yokels. Both of us are the black sheep of the village.
There's nothing more between you?
No, nothing. Maybe Hinnek thinks differently. But that's how it goes.
All right.
What's that?
That's all. Now, as you can already have learned, we've got quite a few spots to go through. Track down another member of Neuhub gang, a fellow who goes by the nickname of Ricky. The locals advised me to ask about Ricky at his folks' house. It's not a task I relish. A tanner's workshop is not the sweetest smelling of places. The bad house wench told me that Ricky used to come and see her after his poaching raids, and on his way he usually stopped off at the woodcutter's camp and the hills east of Ledechko. It seems Ricky didn't poach game just to enjoy a more varied diet. He was making coin from selling the game to the innkeeper in Ledechko. Adela told me Ricky has money stashed away. It's buried in the western corner of small holding behind the tannery. All right. No. Ask the cutter scam talk to the Ricky's father. Actually would like to talk with his father. Okay, let's move there then.
Jesus!
Furthermore, Ricky was selling poached game to the innkeeper, but the innkeeper is so close that we should speak with the innkeeper first.
No, didn't know she did that.
She only started not long ago, always in the evening, while there's still a bit of light. She sits down and gets on with it, and she's quite deft at it by now.
I'm not surprised. Betty was always good with her hands.
You're right there. Anyway, I showed a couple of pieces she made last time to old Fonda from Tabor, the one I buy goods from.
Look out!
He said, clear up before I have you thrown out.
Alright, let's talk with the trader. can't find the innkeeper. Riki. She's probably the innkeeper. What can you tell me about Riki? Surely someone must talk to him.
Does no one at all talk to him?
That harlot Adela hangs around with him, of course.
Harlot?
She works as a bathhouse wench. Same thing.
Okay, what can you tell me about Riki?
What can you tell me about this Hinek?
What can I tell you? Nope, he's none too popular. No one cares to talk to him.
Why not?
Well, I'm not one to gossip, but I heard he keeps bad company.
What's Hynek's father like?
What's the tanner like? Hinek's father.
The less I see of him, the better. He's not exactly sparkling company.
Why did they call him Riki?
Why do they call him Riki anyway?
Why do you think? Because he's a tanner, of course.
Why don't people like him?
So why don't people like him?
The old tanner's not an easy man. But a son should never let his father down. Enoch does nothing to help. He's always far too busy with his own affairs, though I wouldn't like to say what those are.
Alright. If you won't tell me anything I already don't know. And the innkeeper... I'm not sure. Okay, so the innkeeper was on the other side. That's why the indication here
What's that?
was so close, but
What in... Who's there?
there were no innkeepers close by.
Just some cowardly peasant. What can he do to us?
You really can't get it into your thick skull, can you? It's about our fucking reputation.
How can it help our reputation? Folk already shit themselves when they see us.
God-fearing folk, maybe. But in this trade, even your own people
just as
have
you
to be
ordered.
afraid of you. Otherwise, they might get the idea they can do without you. Get it?
All right. But that fellow ain't one of us, though.
You moron. That's just why we have to get him, right? So no one else tries it on.
It's all the same to me.
Enjoy it.
I'll skewer him anyway. Just I can't be bothered looking for him.
Well, while we're at it, did you ask about him at the village?
Aye. Nobody knows where he is. Seems he's always wandering off somewhere.
We'll wait and see what the chief says then.
It looks like these two bandits are looking for the same guy as I am. And it wouldn't be surprising if we will be confronting them. Now, where exactly is the innkeeper? I think he's here. Yes.
Hey.
What's happening around here?
What's happening around here?
Ah, you know how it is. Always something. Like Vatsek has started an archery contest here. If you want to try your luck at winning a few groschen, you should go and see him. And there's more. Them two rogues Matthew and Fritz have finally cleared off. No loss, I can tell you. Shy of work, the pair of them. But when there's mischief to be made, they jump at the chance. I hear they've made themselves at home in the tavern in the glade. Well, their custom I can do without. Andrew's welcome to them. And there's more.
I'd like a bear.
Now I think of it, I've not seen Kunhutta here for some time. The local herbwoman. She always comes here once a week for a tankard of ale. But she ain't turned up recently. I hope nothing's happened to her. Oh, and another thing. Especially at the mill, not a week goes by without some ruckus there. But I'm wise to them troublemakers. Whenever they're planning some mischief, they're always huddled there in the corner, hatching their plots. Like yesterday, for instance.
Alright, so let's talk about Riki.
I want to ask about the courier's son, Hinek.
But ask someone else. I have nothing to do with Riki. He'd only drive my customers away.
Really? I heard a different story. I heard the two of you do business together.
Who are you, anyway?
A friend of Hinnick's. He's gone missing and I need to find him.
I don't know where he is. But if you find the bastard, tell him he still owes me some goods.
Alright. Ricky was selling poached game to the innkeeper. Now let's see what we can get out of him. Hinnick owes you something?
About the goods Riki owes you.
What about it?
Well, supposing I settle the account for him and you stop dodging my questions and tell me what I want to know.
I suppose that would be all right.
How much is it?
Before he vanished, I paid him in advance for 5 heirs.
Alright. I have something with me.
We can settle things right away. As it happens, I have some game with me.
Let's see it then.
And it crashed.